This is One-on-One. There he is, David Sanchez, student at Nottingham High School, and he plans to be a teacher one day. Is that true?
Yes, it is.
You admit this?
Yes.
So you were at the Urban Teacher Academy. By the way, this is part of our Classroom Close-Up Cooperation, a cooperative program with the NJEA, part of our teacher appreciation week. You don't even have to be a teacher to be part of the week. You have to just want to be a teacher.
Exactly.
What happened at that academy that turned you on to this?
Well, they brainwashed me. It was very
In a good
sad.
way.
Yes, they took me in, just plugged me in, just flew me with data, and it was terrible. But really, the Urban Teacher Academy was a way to engage high school students and connect them to different students, also to professors, to different teachers, to people who are in the teaching profession, and to expose them to all these new areas, to expose them to new schools, new areas that they haven't been to before, children from suburban areas to high poverty urban areas, and teach them, what issues these schools face.
You got hooked.
Exactly.
You ready to see the video?
Yes, I am.
This is the video from the NJEA Classroom Close-Up series on NJTV, and we'll talk about it with David right after this.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 2011 Urban Teacher Academy at the College of New Jersey. Our Urban Teacher Academy students have worked on assignments to write letters about the teachers in their lives who've made a really positive impact and a difference. We invite 7 or 8 of those teachers here where the students had an opportunity to read those letters as a means of expressing appreciation, but also accentuating those values that they hope to emulate as teachers in the future.
People never stop to realize that teaching isn't just about math, reading, and science. It's also about seeking out the potential in each student, making them believe that they matter, and helping them fulfill the destiny that they have in life, and helping them understand that the world needs their efforts.
She teaches her students to not judge people, to be straightforward when it comes to situations, and to never doubt yourself, and always believe that you can rather than believing you can't.
I aim to emulate your style, your demeanor, your passion. I hope to someday express my passion for biology as you express yours for history. I hope to instill the same values, the same fervor for education that you showed me in the generations to come.
The profession can be challenging some days, but some days it's just a joy. You go in and you have great connections and you have good lessons, but yeah, when you have an opportunity to, make a connection like that, it does help.
While it's difficult for me to remember exactly what I learned on a daily basis in kindergarten, I will never forget the way I felt when I was in your classroom. I remember being very shy and nervous when I first entered school as a little 5-year-old.
I was just touched. I was very touched that Megan chose me of all her teachers, kindergarten, to go back to kindergarten and pick her teacher. That was just very special. She still has that same sweet little face, but she's all grown up now.
Never before had a teacher earnestly complimented my compulsive reading, nor suggested additional works. Never had I felt the need to impress anyone with a homework assignment, yet as the first one rolled out, I spent hours until I felt it satisfied not only your standards, but the ones I set for myself.
He's so smart, and he's got the characteristics of the quintessential storyteller. He just mesmerizes his peers and me as well.
These students want to become you. And in this profession, there's probably no greater compliment or greater gift than to have somebody to emulate what we hope to do to change the next generation.
There you go. So David, that was your English teacher, Karen Kelleher?
Yes.
What'd she do for you?
When I went to her classroom, at first I was saying, this is English class. I'm fine. I don't need to, do extra work. I don't really need to take time on this because it's English. I can just write actually do my homework when she's coming down the rows. And before that mindset, I had that for years. And I was like, I'll get an A and it'll be fine. I don't have to do too much work. And when I went into her classroom, she laid down the law. She was like, you have the opportunity to make something of yourself and you have the opportunity to shine. And if you take a part in your own education, if you feel that you are being respected in the classroom, if you feel that you have respect for your work, have respect for the things that you're putting out, then you're going to achieve more. You're going to achieve what you want to achieve. And so by setting these standards, I felt that, okay, well, I can write a really amazing essay. I can, have something submitted. I can write poetry. I can do these things. And I didn't know that before. Before I knew I can get an A. That's fine. So I learned that from her.
Why'd she call you the storyteller?
She called me the storyteller because basically I never shut up in her class. And so, when we would have class and when, she would open the New York Times and we would discuss something in the op-ed or, an op-ed section. And she would say, oh, this story, how do you feel about this story? And I said, well, Miss Kelleher, let's go back. Let me tell you about my father's great-grandfather who went to Mexico and built this town. And it's just the way that, in my opinion, the way that an English teacher can relate to their students is by bringing something that you have in the classroom and bringing a personal connection to it. And so for her to say, well, how does this impact you? What does this story mean to you? I can say, what in my life what can I take from this that I'm reading right now? And that's, that's what I gleaned from it, and that's why she calls me the storyteller.
You pretty sure you want to be a teacher?
Yes, no doubt about it.
No doubt?
No.
You're convinced?
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about role models, male role models.
Male role models?
Do we have enough male teachers?
No, absolutely not.
You're looking to change it, aren't you?
Exactly.
I have a feeling you will. Go ahead.
Okay. And I did not have a male teacher until I was in middle school. I never had a male teacher throughout elementary school. Middle school, I had my shop teacher as my first male teacher. And then in high school, my science teachers, my math teachers, I had more male role models in the education field. And when you imagine a teacher, you don't imagine, like a man standing up there in front of the classroom. You imagine like a, sweet old woman with an apple saying, welcome to my class. And that's an issue that we're having because when students look up and see, who is my teacher? Who can I have as a role model? They don't see men being there. They don't see males in the teaching profession.
Not enough, because we did see some in the academy.
Yes, we saw some there at the Urban Teacher Academy. So there are some, but there aren't enough. There isn't enough diversity in the classroom.
Ethnic as well?
Ethnic as well. And there's a very large problem that right now the teaching workforce does not represent the student population. We don't have male teachers. We don't have a lot of male teachers. We don't have culturally diverse schools, and that's a problem when a student can't see that reflected in the education workforce.
You think about this a lot, don't you?
Yes.
It's funny, Teacher Appreciation Week here on One-on-One, it's great to celebrate and recognize our great educators who are out there. But to have someone like you who is convinced he wants to do it, who is motivated and moved by someone like Karen Kelleher, and I'm pretty convinced we're going to have to wind up doing a feature on you down the road as a role model and teacher. It's exciting.
It is.
You know you're going to do this.
Mm-hmm. And it's a culmination of years of work and not only on my part, on the part of mentors, on the part of fellow teachers who have made this possible for me to pursue this path.
Well, David Sanchez, you're our hero right now. Keep it up, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
I have a feeling you're going to do it.
Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by the New Jersey Education Association, working for great public schools for every child. Wells Fargo, the law firm of Gibbons PC, PSC&G, committed to improving New Jersey's economy and strengthening its communities. And by Barnabas Health. Promotional support provided by the Star Ledger and NJ.com, Everything Jersey. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System.